G'day guys, welcome back to another video. I thought I might try this angle again. Hopefully make it a little bit. Hopefully make it a little bit better. I think it's a bit brighter now. I've got a bit of a lamp over here to make it, the colour look a little bit better. Yeah, so I've got another DVD update for you. I've got another 10 here, just sort of 10 movies that I've sort of watched, either watched recently or I've sort of watched them before. So sort of know what happens in them. So let's give it a go. First one I got is a bit of glare there. I'm number 4, which I did a bit of a. I think it came out last year. I think I listed it in one of my was it my top 10 favourite movies of last year? I think. Pretty sure that was in there somewhere. Yeah, I just thought it's a really good movie. I thought really sort of solid. Nothing sort of fantastic, but it's certainly not a crap movie. Just really good, solid, decent storyline, good sort of sci-fi type sort of one. I think a lot of people didn't seem to like it for some reason. I think so. I don't know. Don't know why they didn't like it, but I thought it was pretty decent. Decent sort of storyline. Probably nothing hard original, I suppose. But I thought it was a pretty decent movie. Just trying to think what happens. I think it's about a guy. He's got special powers, thing, hasn't he? Sort of thing. He sort of when he gets to a certain age, he has these certain powers, and he's got these sort of bad guys after him. I think I don't know. I can't remember much about it, to be honest. But that's definitely a good one to watch. This one I got is actually these ones here. I actually got it in a bulk buy. I bought off eBay. I bought like 10 Blu-rays in a bulk. So I think they were cheaper that way, just to buy in bulk. So not necessarily ones that I'd sort of choose myself, I suppose. But another Resident Evil one, Resident Evil Extinction. Third one, I think this is the one where they're sort of in the desert and like a convoy, and they sort of driving around trying to find fuel and stuff like that. Yeah, not too bad. Probably the best one, I suppose, out of the lot, but it's a pretty decent movie. I'm sure a lot of people have already seen that one, but that's definitely not too bad. One here I already had this movie on Blu-ray, but it sort of came in this bulk pack, so it sort of came along. Clash of the Titans, the 3D edition. Not a bad movie, I thought. Probably not necessarily true to the story, I suppose, or whatever, or with the Greek mythology or whatever the thing is. I think they're gonna make a sequel, aren't they? Coming out sometime. I think it's either this year or next year. I thought that was pretty decent. Decent movie. One here, next one is one that I really enjoyed actually. Just get out of the way. Nicolas Cage in Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of Nicolas Cage, but I actually quite enjoy this one. I actually find he's a bit over the top sometimes and a bit too, a bit too silly to watch, I think, sometimes. I actually quite enjoyed this one though. Essentially, Nicolas Cage, he's kind of like a bit of a corrupt cop, and he's always taking drugs, and he's got a bit of a Eve Mendez, his girlfriend's a bit of a drug addict, and it's just about him. He's trying to I think he's trying to solve a crime. I think he's trying to track down a drug dealer, I think, or something, isn't he? Yeah. And it's just really well. I mean, it's pretty much it's obviously it's a bit silly and it's a bit over the top, but it's not quite as over the top as some of the other movies that I've sort of seen by Nicolas Cage. Films like Face Off, with John Travolta. That's not a lot of people sort of enjoy that, like that movie, but I just thought it was pretty stupid. Nicolas Cage was just ridiculously over the top, and I don't know, just wasn't. I just didn't enjoy it much, to be honest. This is definitely a good one though. Kind of had the same sort of premise as the other guys, but this was like total shit. As I've sort of done, I did a video about this, saying how crap it was. This is the same sort of premise, sort of, I don't know, crap cops sort of doing what they want, whatever they want to do, and this one's just, I don't know, it's a whole lot better, and it's a bit more, I don't know, a bit serious is probably the right word, I suppose, a bit more. But yeah, just good sort of action, decent storyline. It's very sort of different to perhaps your normal sort of movie, but I just really enjoyed it though. It wasn't, it wasn't too over the top, and it was fairly decent. It's definitely one. I think it's actually got I think it was supposed to be another movie before this called Bad Lieutenant, which I think's. I'm pretty sure this has got nothing to do with it. I'm pretty sure it's not a sequel. I haven't sort of seen the original one, so I don't know if it's much of the same. But I'm pretty sure it's a totally different film and has nothing to do with the original. I'm pretty sure. So it's a good one to watch, I thought, especially if you're a Nicolas Cage fan. Next one I got is an old one from 2007, Final Fantasy, the animated movie. Now, a lot of people didn't seem to like this one. I think they were sort of hoping. I think the storyline's totally different to the games, and a lot of people had sort of issues with that. But if you sort of take it as like a standalone movie, I thought it was actually a really good movie. I really enjoyed it the first time I watched it, and every other time I watched, I got it on DVD, so I sort of watched it a fair bit. Really good sort of CGI type animation to it. Perhaps a little bit dated, perhaps by today's standards, but at the time it was really cutting edge, and it really looked, really good. It still looks good, probably compared to some of the other, CGI type movies, that's sort of made these days. But just had a great storyline, great animation. I'm just trying to think what it's about. It's about, I think, isn't it like some kind of like, I suppose it's a bit like what's that movie? Starship Troopers sort of thing. It's sort of about these sort of aliens, the human race thinks that are being attacked by these aliens, and you sort of find through this storyline, it's it's not quite true, and you sort of find out the reason why these aliens are there, and I just thought it was a really good movie. Probably the storyline's probably not necessarily probably the most original, because I think I've sort of seen similar sort of storylines, perhaps in other things I've sort of read or watched. But it's very good. It's still a good storyline, and it's probably a new storyline. So some people wouldn't necessarily have sort of, I don't know, the concept to it. They haven't sort of come across this concept before, and all about the Earth and how the Earth's a living organism, and it's definitely a good one to watch. One I got here is a sort of a cheap one, or cheapish one. Sort of, I knew it wasn't going to be perhaps the best movie in the whole world. I think it's called Hybrid 3D, which I don't think is the full title. I think there's another word in front of it. If you look it up on IMDb, I think it's got a slightly different title to it. Hyper Hybrid or something. I don't know, something like that. This is kind of like if you've ever seen the movie Christine, sort of like a car that's sort of alive, and it's sort of goes out and kills people and stuff like that. It's this sort of the same sort of storyline in this one. I actually didn't mind this one. It's pretty much sort of set in like a parking garage, and this sort of car. This car was involved in like an accident that sort of brought it into the wrecking shop, and the people in there, they sort of get trapped in the building with the fixing up building, and the car sort of goes berserk and tries to kill them all and stuff like that. But I just thought it was pretty good. It's a nice sort of concept, really original type of concept, I suppose, to it. And yes, I mean, some of the dialogue was a bit off, I thought, and the storyline didn't sort of make a whole lot of sense. Some of the dialogue was just a bit strange and out of place, I felt, for the storyline or something. I don't know. But that's definitely if you're sort of into sort of car attacking movies, or just really good sort of popcorn type you know, type films and stuff like that. You know, that's definitely a good one to watch. I think I remember being in the shop, and I sort of saw this, it was sort of two copies of it. They both sort of had marks on them and stuff. So I sort of sat there for a few minutes trying to work out which one I should get. You know, which one wasn't probably, you know, wasn't going to be the most sort of damaged type one. So I did that, and then I put it up the counter, and the woman there took ages to. I think she was trying to find it, and she couldn't find it. So eventually, I think she just went to the shelf and just got another copy, like a brand new one. It's all sealed and everything. So I actually got a better one than the one I was going to pick up. So that was pretty good. Next one I got here is one I got pretty much just for the title. Nude Nuns with Big Guns. I couldn't pass up getting a movie called that, so I got that. I was actually looking. I think it was a steelbook for this. I was actually going to buy a steelbook edition, but for some reason I couldn't get it, and I think I eventually just picked this one up, just the normal sort of edition to it. I actually didn't mind this one. It's a bit like an exploitation type film. I think it's essentially, if I can remember, it's all about sort of the priests sort of force the nuns to sort of make drugs for the local bikie gang. I think it's pretty much a storyline to it. It's just, yeah, I just thought it was pretty decent. It wasn't, you know, necessarily sort of fantastic. It was an exploitation film, so it's probably not just, you know, fantastic masterpiece or anything. But I thought it was pretty good. I think I read on the forums, a lot of people sort of had problems. They reckoned it wasn't gritty enough or something and stuff. But I thought it was pretty good. I don't like necessarily. I don't mind gritty, you know, sort of gritty type films, but sometimes they go a bit too over the board and too much violence and too much just perverted type stuff. So this wasn't, you know, lost a bit of gore in it, and wasn't, you know, sort of too over the top and wasn't too perverted in my opinion. Yeah, you know, had, you know, nice sort of nude nuns in it, and sort of lesbians, you know, kissing each other, and you know, guns and blood and guts and stuff. So that was pretty good. Sort of said that's pretty much a good movie. I couldn't get the subtitles to work on it though. I think it took me a while to get it to. I think it's actually from a German edition. I think I had problems with this. Trying to get it to, it wasn't German to start off with. I was going to watch it in German and then have the subtitles, but I couldn't get that to work, so I eventually had to go just watch in English, I think, without the actual subtitles on it. So, which didn't affect it too much. But that's definitely a good sort of exploitation pop conflict if you want to sort of watch that one. Another one here's another one I got in that bulk of the Blu-rays that I bought, which I actually quite enjoyed. It's a Clint Eastwood film. Hereafter with Matt Damon. I actually quite enjoyed this one. A lot of people, I don't know, didn't seem to like. I think they thought it was a bit too long and a bit boring, and nothing really seemed to sort of happen in it. But I thought it was a pretty decent movie. Yeah, I didn't sort of find anything sort of wrong with it. Essentially, it's about Matt Damon's character, and he's kind of like he's got this sort of gift where he can sort of talk to the dead. He sort of, you know, he sort of holds the hands of the relatives, and for a few minutes, then he can sort of, you know, he sort of has a connection to their loved ones that are sort of, you know, passed over. And just about him, and he sort of meets people, and how he doesn't like his gift because he sort of gets, you know, all these people sort of knock on his door all the time, and they're you know, really get really upset, and they want to, you know, because they want to know about, you know, what their dead relatives wants to say to them and stuff, and he sort of doesn't really like his gift, and it's hard for him to sort of have relationships with people because it's pretty much his life sort of based around this whole, you know, like if he sort of meets like a girlfriend, he's whenever he sort of touches her, he gets this sort of, you know, sort of shock, and he sort of knows everything about her, sort of thing, or about the death in her family, or, you know, stuff like that. I just thought it was a pretty good film. I don't know why people didn't really like it all that much. Yeah, I just thought it was, yeah. Anyway, the last one I got here, one that I was actually going to watch again, before I sort of made the video, but anyway, I might watch it again perhaps and do another video, perhaps, I don't know, another review or something of it perhaps. Talking about Leon the Professional, which I have never seen before. I always wanted to sort of see it. Very similar to sort of the Hannah movie, which I sort of perhaps reviewed in my last, my other video. Actually, yeah, this is a really good movie. I was a little bit disappointed with it. It wasn't perhaps quite as gritty as I thought it was going to be. I was expecting a little bit more, grittiness to it, and perhaps a bit more, I don't know, in-depth storyline to it and stuff. But it's still a movie I've been thinking about for a few days, after I watched it, and I definitely need to watch it again to get more of an opinion of it. Yeah, I think it's got a look. Best on film, stars Natalie Portman in her very first role. I think she was like 12 or 13 at the time. So I think they were her parents were really worried about her starring in this movie about a hitman, and there's a bit like she falls in love with Leon. So it's a bit of a I don't know, sexual thing going on there, but it's very innocent, and even though a lot of people seem to have a lot of people had issues with the relationships between, because she's like 12 and he's supposed to be like, I don't know, 30 or 40 or something, and a killer, sort of thing. So some people are a bit worried about, what was going on, but it's very innocent and very, there's no I don't know, pedophile things in it or anything like that. It's all. But I think there was actually two versions of this. There was like the Leon's like the French version. Then I think in America they called it the professional, and cut out things like 20 minutes or nearly 20 minutes of the film. Just cut out some of the stuff which they thought was a bit too, I don't know, a bit too sexual or something. I'll definitely need to. I'm sure a lot of people already have seen this one, but definitely worth a watch that one. Other things. Yeah, I didn't like. Yeah, so I thought some of the dialogues, because it's a French director, so I was expecting it perhaps to be in French. And I think some of the dialogue was a bit bit cheesy, and Natalie Portman was a bit, I don't know. I think she's trying to be, her character she's a child, but she's very much things have happened to her. Like her parents get massacred in the movie, so she's got to grow up. She's got to grow up real quick, and so she's got a bit of a mature outlook. And even though she's still a child, and I don't know, I just found sometimes she was a bit too. Some of them, I don't know. Some of the dialogue she was in, some of the words are a bit too mature for a girl that age, if that makes sense. Even though she's trying to be, she's immature obviously, because she's had to grow up real quick. But anyway, I'm probably But that's, I just thought maybe her dialogue was a bit off, maybe for her age, and that might have just been me. Definitely a good film. I'm definitely going to watch this one again, perhaps either today or tomorrow or the next few days, and get more of perhaps an opinion of it. A lot better than Tanner, I thought. Hannah was good, but I thought this is a lot better film. So yeah, that's my little my 10 ones there. Well, I went and saw Hugo the other day, which I thought was really good. I heard a lot of really good things about it. It's not too good film. I'm not a huge fan of perhaps kids movies, so I don't necessarily go and see these type ones, kids adventure type ones. But I thought it was a really good movie though. I was really I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it to be pretty awful, because it's not my type of my movie. Not the movie that I typically watch. A lot of people, it's probably a movie that people either really love or they really hate. A lot of people just really didn't like it at all. And I think some people were annoyed that they reckon because I watched the trailer, and I reckon that when I went to watch the film, it was totally different to the trailers. Well, I thought that's a bit of a silly thing to say. I think, I mean, I don't watch trailers. I think the trailers are just stupid. I don't see why some people go out and review the trailer. People are reviewing the new Avengers movie, and I don't see the point of reviewing a trailer. I mean, obviously it's good to watch a trailer to get a semi idea of what the film's about, but I mean, there's a lot of cases where you watch the trailer and it's nothing, and the film's totally different. So that's why I don't bother to watch trailers much anymore. So a lot of people have the issues with that, and I reckon it was a bit boring for a kids movie, which is probably, I don't know. I found the first half an hour to be perhaps a little bit boring, and I think I can see when the movie starts out with a different you have an idea of what the storyline's going to be about, and there's a certain thing that happened in, say, the first half of the movie, because and that's what you think what's gonna, what the movie's gonna be about. But when you sort of get to the end, it's totally different sort of outcome to where you've originally come from. But I love both the sort of the first sort of parts of what we thought was going to be about, and then the second part was just even really good as well. And I mean, perhaps storyline wise, probably it's a great storyline. Definitely, it visually was just fantastic. Really great sort of cinematography in it. And like before you sort of starts out where it ends is totally different, but both of those sort of ends are and the subject matter in those ends are just really, really good. I thought. What else was I going to say? And yeah, plus storyline probably doesn't necessarily sort of go. It doesn't sort of go all the way into this, in depth, I suppose. But and it could have been perhaps. I mean, because I said before, the first half is sort of different to the second half. Different things sort of happen. So I think that perhaps if they wanted to, perhaps they should have perhaps concentrated perhaps on the first half and I'm probably ranting a little bit, but the I sort of found it's definitely sort of the first half is definitely different to the second half. Different sort of things happen, and a different sort of outcome to where you think it's going to start off with. But definitely, it's a great movie. I definitely might buy that one actually on Blu-ray. I think it's already out in the US, so that you can buy it on Blu-ray. But I just went to my cinema and watched it recently, so it might be a little while perhaps before it comes out in Australia. I don't know. Anyway, I'm talking too much. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. If you've watched any of these movies, certainly leave a comment and tell me what you think. Don't have some moles. See you later on. Bye.
Call that a Blu-ray? Now that's a Blu-ray.